Hello students. Today we are going to do a poem from unit number 2 which goes by the name The Worm. Now before we do the reading of the poem, let's begin by warming up exercise. In that the question number 1 is worms play a very important role in maintaining ecological balance and they are friends of farmers. Form groups and discuss the significance of worms in the above two roles. Now students, you have to write what I am telling you in your notebook. Okay, we have to prove how the worms are useful to the farmers. Worms, especially earthworms, are beneficial to the soil and plant growth. They convert large organic matter into rich humus, which makes the soil fertile. The burrows created by earthworm improves the aeration and drainage of the soil. Burrows are small tunnel-like things or hole-like things which are made by worms. Thus, they help the farmers by loosening and aerating the soil. Now let's go over to the second question. Think and write down how the following creatures can be useful. First is dragonfly. Dragonflies eat mosquitoes and other insects and hence they help gardeners. This also allows humans to reduce the use of pesticides to kill these insects. Next is spider. Spiders like to eat insects like roaches, moths, which helps to keep their population in check. It also helps to reduce the spread of diseases and the destruction of crops. Now, in the same manner, you can try and find out how the other creatures like ants, honeybees, earthworms can be useful. Moving over to the third question, little creatures in nature can also be your teachers. Think and write what we can learn from the following. First is bees. From bees we learn hard work, teamwork, and from queen bee we can learn leadership quality. Second is ants. From ants we can learn how to keep on working and preparing for difficult days. Spiders. From spiders we can learn perseverance. They never give up and keep on going till they succeed. Next is caterpillars. From caterpillars we learn how to move ahead in life even though there are hardships and pains. Now these are few things which I have told you. If you feel you can learn other things from these creatures, you are welcome to write those. Now as far as the fourth question is concerned, you can Google it for the information, and then you can write information on that as a project. Okay. Now let's read the poem The Worm, written by Thomas Gisborne. Turn, turn thy hasty foot aside, nor crush that helpless worm. The frame thy scornful looks deride required a god to form. The common lord of all that move, from whom thy being flowed, a portion of his boundless love on that poor worm bestowed. The sun, the moon, the stars he made, to all his creatures free, and spreads over earth the grassy blade, for worms as well as thee. Let them enjoy their little day, their lowly bliss received. Oh, do not lightly take away the life thou canst not give. Now let's see what the poet has got to tell us through this poem. In the first stanza, the poet addresses the readers directly See the first line, turn, turn thy hasty foot aside. The poet is directly addressing the readers and telling to move the foot aside which is moving so fast and carelessly. Hasty meaning what? Hurried and careless. The poet is telling you are walking so carelessly and you are not even aware who is there, who might get killed because of your carelessness. The frame thy scornful looks deride required a god to form. He says, avoid crushing the worm who is so helpless. He says, do not look at the worm with hatred or contempt. Scornful means what? Filled with hate, contempt. Deride means expressing hatred or contempt. He tells, do not look at the worm with hatred. Why? Because it is none other than the God who gave him the life, who gave the worm life. Now let's see the second stanza. The common lord of all that move. What does it mean? This line means that all the things that have life and move are God's creations. Second line says, from whom thy being flowed. Thy being flowed means what? Thy meaning your. The poet says, from whom your life is coming. From whom the life of the reader is coming? From God. The poet says that the God that gave you life as a gift, the same God gifted a part of his love to the worms in the form of life. A portion of his boundless love has been bestowed on that poor worm. Bestowed means God has given life. God has gifted life to that worm, and the God has given that life to you also. So the element of energy that flows in the reader and in the worm is same, and it is coming from God. Now let's go over to the third stanza. The third stanza makes a mention of the sun, the moon, the stars. These are all the important creations of God. The sun, the moon, the stars. These are all heavenly objects. Poet makes it clear that God not only made living creatures, he also made these celestial objects. Celestial meaning what? What we see in the sky, the sun, the moon and all. The poet further makes it clear that he made this as a gift for all his creatures free. Means whatever God has created is available as a gift for all that he has made. Not only for man, for small and big, for the animals and human beings. The gifts of God are available for all. Poet makes it clear that he spread the blades of grass all over the earth. This again is for all, the worms as well as for humans. Now coming to the concluding stanza. The last stanza says that let each creation of God, even tiny ones who do not have long life, enjoy the simple pleasures given to all by the God Almighty. Lowly bliss meaning what? Simple pleasures. Enjoy their little day meaning what? Those who do not have a long life. Poet makes it clear that those who do not have a long life, let them enjoy whatever simple pleasures are there given to them by the God. In the last two lines, the poet gives a very important message. He says, oh, do not lightly take away the life thou canst not give. He says, we do not have the right to take away the life by our careless attitude. It is the God and God alone who can give life, and hence, what we cannot give, we have no right to take away. In short, the poet makes it clear we have to be careful and not crush anybody to death because of our careless attitude. Because what we cannot give, we have got no right to take. It's a very, very important and a very powerful message given by the poet in the last two lines. Now let's see how we can paraphrase the poem. In this poem, the poet tells the reader who is in a hurry to turn his foot aside so that he does not kill the helpless worm. The reader may be filled with scorn and hatred for the worm, but the poet reminds him that the worm was created by God. The same God who made human beings and all other things that move has also given a portion of his unlimited love to the poor worm. God has given the sun, the moon, and the stars free to all the creatures that he has created. The grass that grows over the earth was made for worms as well as for human beings. The poet urges the readers to allow the worms to enjoy their brief life with its humble, simple pleasures. He gives an important message. He tells us not to take away a life which we cannot give.